The problem that we're going to be doing is finding the integral of sine cubed theta, cosine squared theta, d theta, on the interval from 0 to pi halves. Now the general strategy for when sine is odd and cosine is even is to save one factor of sine theta and then use the trig identity of sine squared x plus cosine squared x equals 1, where we can change that to sine squared x being equal to 1 minus cosine squared x. And then afterwards we'll do a u substitution of u equals cosine x. So first we'll rewrite this as integral of from 0 to pi halves of sine squared theta sine theta times cosine squared theta d theta. So we just change sine cubed theta to sine squared theta times sine theta. Now we can substitute this for that. So we get 0 halves 1 minus cosine squared theta cosine squared theta, and we'll move the last sine theta to the end. Next we're going to distribute this cosine squared theta into here so we have all of our cosines together. So we get cosine squared theta minus cosine to the fourth theta. Then we have our sine theta d theta. Now we're going to do the u substitution where u equals cosine theta, so that du equals negative sine theta d theta. And since we're doing u substitution, we have to change our intervals. So u of pi halves is equal to cosine of pi halves, which equals 0. U of 0 equal to cosine of 0, which equals 1. So now we can plug those in with their new ranges. We don't want to change the order, even though going from 1 to 0 doesn't really make sense, but we'll just keep it like that and see what happens. So now, plugging in our u substitution, we get u squared minus u to the fourth. And then we have negative sine theta d theta as our du. We have sine theta d theta, so we'll put a negative in the front to get that. And now we integrate it. So that becomes negative, the integral of u squared is 1/3 u cubed, and u fourth is 1/5 u to the fifth, from 1 to 0. Now plugging that in, we get, plug in the 0 for here, that equals 0, and again 0, so we move on to the next one. Plug in 1 here, we get 1/3. Plug in 1 here, we get 1/5. Now we have to find the least common denominator, so with that we get 5/15 minus 3/15, and subtracting that, our answer is 2/15. So there we have the sine cubed theta times cosine squared theta d theta from 0 to pi halves is equal to 2/15.